Hey guys, it's Micah from Sapulpa Times.
And Lucy with the City of Sapulpa.
We were just talking about our individual internet coverage and wireless carriers and stuff. I remember the day when Cox was the only option, and if
For
you wanted
TV.
broadband
Oh,
internet, yeah. And I guess it's still kind of in this area a big option, but now we've got AT&T, which we did have before we switched over to T-Mobile, which honestly I'm not enjoying. I'm probably going to switch back if I'm not locked into a contract. I'll have to check that out, but. You were just telling me that you're not real pleased with Cox right now, and you used to have AT&T internet. Yeah, so did we. You know, when we had the tornado in 2019 and literal trees fell in my yard, I never lost internet access. I
yeah.
lost power,
Right.
but I didn't lose internet. So that was kind of awesome. So that's how good AT&T is, I guess.
Yeah. They're pretty great.
Yeah. So AT&T fiber, I think, just moved it back into my neighborhood, or into my neighborhood rather,
Hmm.
which is I live on a dead end street, so it took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
Um, and so I might be switching back. We'll see.
Okay.
I think I'm going to keep my phones with T-Mobile though.
I'll be waiting to hear.
Okay, I'll let you know,
Okay.
and then we'll find you a house pretty close
Yeah.
to mine, I guess, so you can move back into a place with AT&T fiber.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, all right, guys, happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well so far. See, just got done with some baseball games yesterday. Did a little worse than I expected we would actually, but it ended about how I thought it would. But it was fine. It was a learning experience. The first time we played that particular team this season. So, did you get to the game yesterday? You were
We
helping?
did.
You did.
I
Okay.
did come by. I did get to watch a little bit of your game.
Oh, you did?
And I tried to say hi to you, but you were strapping your catcher into gear, so I just left you alone.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Switching our catcher out. Um, And that guy had the worst luck with his gear. He had to buy like a whole new set because he outgrew it and everything, which was great. And then like his brand new shin guard broke or something. And so now he had to borrow the other catcher's shin guard, and so he's got one black and one red. And so I remember telling him like, "Hey, it's a really smart idea that you're wearing your neutral gang colors over here at the Sapulpa Youth Baseball, one black and one red, so you don't have to worry about it." But um, yeah, that was just I don't know, just bad luck with that gear. And I feel bad for him because his parents bought it or his grandparents did, and I know that stuff's not cheap,
Right.
like catcher's gear, and I'm sure it gets more expensive the older you get.
I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we had some issues. I don't remember if it was, no, it wasn't last night's game. It was Monday night's game. Their catcher helmet, they were having some issues with it. And so we were finally like, you can just use ours.
Was it the chin
I
thing?
don't know.
Our guy had his chin thing would get separated, and so
I don't
like it
know.
was like going to
Every time he just kept taking it off and walking over to his dugout. So I never noticed or knew what was actually happening.
okay. You just saw that it was causing problems.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Seems like the door is something causing problems with somebody. Anyway, so that's it for baseball for us. What about you?
We have
For this
practice.
week, I mean.
Oh, we have one more practice, but
Yeah,
thankfully games are there no more this week.
not this week. But do you have double headers next week like we do? We've got double header on Monday.
I don't know. I don't know. We had games, I said we had 5 days of baseball last week and we had 2 days off and then back-to-back games. And so I don't know. I
It's kind of a
haven't
blur.
I haven't quite looked into next week yet.
Okay. Well, I don't want to put that, tomorrow's troubles are enough for tomorrow. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that today. But so I don't want to put that on you. But yeah, we've got our first doubleheader of the season on Monday, and I'm looking forward to it actually. I think it takes us a game to get warmed up usually, and so by the time we're ending that first game, we're in pretty good shape, and
Uh,
so I expect them to do well the second game. But who am I kidding? I don't know what's what's gonna happen. We'll find out. But um, so Lucy, before we get to what you did yesterday,
mhm,
I noticed that last week we talked about the street being closed for that irrigation stuff,
mhm,
and I drive by there quite a bit because I'm going different places and stuff. My office is literally right next door to it, so
mhm,
like I see, sometimes I saw them working, sometimes I didn't. I didn't
mhm.
know if the wind and stuff interfered, but I think as of this morning when I got in the office, it was still closed.
Yes, it is still closed and it will not open until tomorrow morning. And so the leak that was it was a water line,
Uh-huh.
irrigation, not necessarily like a main water line. And it had some pinhole leaks. And so it wasn't a big leak that we could immediately locate. We just knew that there was water somewhere. And so as they got in there and continued to look, the water was traveling. So where they thought the leak was is not actually where the leak was. The water had
Oh,
just traveled down.
okay.
And so they couldn't find it. They were like tearing up some concrete and looking and no hole. And so then they would repair that.
Oh, that's
Then they would tear up some more. And so they brought a camera in on Monday, and they were able to locate the hole. No, the camera came in on Tuesday. So the camera came in, they were able to locate the hole. And then they made that full repair and was expecting to open that on Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning. And so once they made all that repair and everything, they went ahead and ran the camera again to make sure that everything was repaired, and there was another pinhole just a little bit further. So
man. Okay.
um, they will be pouring concrete this morning, repairing all that and replacing it, and then the road will open up first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I see a lot of people who there are no signs for it until
Right.
you're right up on it, and so like they're heading that way, and they're like, "Oh gosh, I can't!"
Hmm.
No, quick, right turn.
Right.
I saw a big like a big Pepsi semi truck, which they're not supposed to be coming downtown anyway
Right.
because they're not paying attention to the signs. But I mean, had to make like a screeching right turn right there, um, because I guess he wasn't expecting to have to do that. So just get off our road anyway, guys. That's how I feel about that. So um, the other thing, aside from that, thank you for that update, by the way. But I also understand that you went to the Capitol and hung out
I did. I was
yesterday.
there all day
Yeah.
yesterday. It was
What was going
so
on at the
much fun.
Capitol?
So yesterday was Route 66 day, and so all the communities along Route 66 had the opportunity to go down and hang out until visit with there was people that came to visit the Capitol. There was a school there. We got to visit with the kids that are up there paging. We got to visit with
That's cool.
staff, legislators, and all kinds of things like that. And so it was so cool to sit there, one, and talk about Sapulpa and how great it is, and two, to go around to the other communities that are on Route 66. And you see it on Facebook and you hear about what's going on, but to really talk to the people that are in it and that are doing it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And so one of the coolest things is I actually got to meet um, an individual. I don't think he's the owner. I just
Talking about
think
this guy?
that he works. No, that's Reese
Okay.
with the
Okay.
Route 66 Association. So I really got to talk to him. They unveiled the Centennial license plates yesterday.
Cool. Okay.
And so Janet and I were the first two to pre-order those yesterday. So woo woo.
No.
That was pretty cool. And so we are getting Centennial license plates, but no, I got to hang out with Reese. And he actually, in this picture, Janet and I were looking at this artwork that they unveiled. And it is supposed to be a representation of all the communities along Route 66 in Oklahoma. And so we were like looking at it and we are like, okay, we know that's the astronaut. We know what this is. But
Is
there
it
was a
really
lot of
real?
it that we didn't. And so we were like, Reese, come tell us what this is. And so um, then afterwards, we're like, of course, we have to take a picture because we got to hang out with Reese. And so it was really cool.
Is there a Sapulpa landmark on here?
No.
I thought you said it was all the communities in Sapulpa.
It's supposed to be, um, but
It's too bad.
Sepulpa's not on there.
Okay. I
It's the
see.
iconic pieces of Route 66. So,
I mean, okay. I thought TP Drive-In would be one of those by now, but
um,
or Happy Burger, the longest.
yeah,
Sapulpa, like at the state level, I feel like we get overlooked a lot.
it was disheartening to see that we weren't like represented on there.
Hmm.
Um, and Reese was looking at it and he was like, "Oh my gosh." And he also named some other communities, which I'm not going to out anyone. But
that
there
were
are
not
some
on there.
that were not on there that do have pretty iconic things. And so, um, yeah.
I mean, it's still a cool poster. I have to admit
Hmm.
the avant-garde kind of look to it and everything. It's
Hmm.
really cool, and I'm looking at it right now, trying to pick through, and I can recognize most of what I'm seeing
Hmm.
here. The foil, the totem
Hmm.
pole from foil, and the astronaut from Meadow Gold, and
Hmm.
then they also had the Meadow Gold sign, so they got represented twice. And this,
The astronaut is not in representation of Meadow Gold.
it's not. That's not
Mm-mm.
from over there by Meadow Mac, and what's the astronaut from? It's not Buck Adams? No, I guess it's not. Okay. Is it Buck Adams?
He is Buck Adams.
Okay, that's over in Tulsa. That's 11th Street, like right there next to the Route
Okay.
66,
I don't know.
next to Meadow Gold Mac and something else. And then they got the Whaler Katusha, of course. I mean, wouldn't be complete without that one. This one right here is, what's that muffin looking
Let me
thing
see.
right there?
You have to turn it. I don't know.
It's like this one that's right next to Reese's arm.
Oh, he told us.
But you don't remember?
I don't remember.
We'll have to put this up and have
Yeah.
everybody guess. Okay.
Yeah. Reese did know those. The round barn is on there, and I would not have picked out the round barn.
Oh yeah, is that it right there?
No, that's a burger.
It's too small. Look at this.
I have a sticker. I'll bring you the sticker. It's about this big. They give everyone a piece of the art.
Okay. I
Um,
see the pop. Okay, is that the milk bottle or is that the Pop's soda
nope,
bottle?
the milk bottle is in the middle and the pop soda is on the far right.
Oh, okay. Oh, they got both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's cool though.
it's pretty
It's
cool. As
cool.
you continue to look at it,
Yeah, you have to keep looking at it.
yeah, it was really cool. So it was also really cool. So I got to meet with the individual that worked on the signs that went up in Stroud, and to hear him talk about that and like what it's done for Stroud through the Route 66 grant. It was just so cool to hear like his point of view from somebody that like knew about Stroud because everyone hears about Stroud, it's on the turnpike, but like to see the difference of like even his opinion of Stroud as somebody that's not from there, like doesn't have any ties to Stroud until now, like he got to help create 29 of the signs that are in Stroud. And so
I'm not even
um
familiar with this project that you're talking about.
Stroud got 50 some neon signs.
Seriously?
You didn't know that?
No, I don't think I did. Where?
Oh my gosh, they're all over town.
Oh, okay.
So now, apparently, I don't know because I got to go look, but when you drive into Stroud, it's like pulling into the legitimate car scene. Like the signs are flashing and yes.
Like from the movie cars?
Yes.
Okay, well that makes sense because the lady who owned the Stroud Cafe, the Rock Cafe over there is like she represents one of the characters from
Yes.
Cars. Flo, maybe? I can't
I
remember.
don't know.
But that's awesome.
But yeah, so to hear like what it's done for their community and like they were just like a pass through town, nobody was stopping, nobody was visiting,
Hmm.
and their tourism is just jumping.
That's great.
And so, like, putting them back on the map, and people are taking Route 66, and people are visiting, and they are talking about Stroud, and it was awesome.
That is awesome.
Hmm.
Very cool. Happy for you, Stroud.
Yes, it was so cool.
Did Stroud get a spot on the poster?
I don't know.
That Rock Cafe is like one of the
I
iconic
know. I
Route
don't know all
66
the
land.
places on there.
Okay.
Reese was like going really fast and like pointing them all out, and I was just like, okay.
Hey, kudos to Reese Martin too.
Yeah.
He's the guy. He's got to be like uh, one of those who like so quickly fell in love with Route
Hmm.
66 and stuff. And he's the president of the Oklahoma, right?
Route 66 Association.
Yeah, the Oklahoma, but not the national level, the state level, right? Right? I think that's right. I think you become part of the national level when you're an officer at the state level.
Maybe.
Anyway, but he's not like originally from around there or anything, and then he just like jumped in with both feet, and now we get to see him at all the different like the Route 66 Road Show. He's
Hmm.
there. He was at Sapulpa for the opening of the bridge, and he was here at this thing. So
Yeah.
he was there to light up Gasoline Alley.
Yes.
He spoke at that. So yeah, cool. Maybe we'll get him to move to Sapulpa at some point.
So we also got to talk to a lot of people when they came by our table. They were like, Sapulpa, and they're like, oh my gosh, you were on the news this morning. And we were like, what? And so Oklahoma City did a huge piece, wrote a long story. They said it was a very long segment about the expansion of the auto museum. And so we could not give out enough flyers. Everyone is so excited about the auto museum. They can't wait to come see the
Really?
expansion. It was so cool.
I need to go see
Yes.
this. Was that like, did they say who it was that did it?
9.
Channel 9.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. That makes
Yeah.
sense then. Emily Bryan was here from Channel
Yes.
6. And was that, was he also doing it for Channel 9 or was,
I haven't seen
okay.
it, so I don't know.
Right. Sister stations, I know they cross over
Yeah.
sometimes. So, yeah, we'll have to go check out that segment for sure. Okay, so let's talk about what is happening this weekend and beyond. I want to remind everybody real quick that if you're not signed up for the email, we get this all the time. I had somebody put this comment on one of our posts just a few hours ago about, hey, how do I find out what's going on in town? And seriously, I never want to hear anyone ever say, boy, I wish I knew that this was happening. Okay. So go get signed up for the free events email that we have. It goes out every week. We put the story out today, and the email goes out later today and tomorrow. And get signed up for that. And then while we are doing that, I will get started here. We've got the first event. This is actually going to be coming up on May the 2nd. So it's not this weekend, but I'm promoting it now so you can put it on your calendar. It is the Creek County Master Gardeners Show, plant sale, plant and rummage sale. I think they're doing other things more than just plants this time. It's over at the Creek County Courthouse. You're going to want to check this out. If you've never been, this is, I promise you, one of the best ways to buy plants. And it is way better than buying at Lowe's or even local Ace Hardware. Okay. Atwoods, maybe. But I mean, you're talking about these are Creek County Master Gardeners that have been caring for these plants the entire time. So you know they've been in good hands. They know how to get plants that are going to stand up to Oklahoma weather. And we bought several plants from them. And my wife, who does not have a green thumb at all, has managed to keep them alive for the most part. So if they did die, it wasn't the plant's fault. It was my wife's fault. So anyway, that's the first thing. So you got to be sure to come to that. That's happening on May the 1st. And again, this will be in the email. So subscribe to the email over at sapulpatimes.com/subscribe. We're talking about this. You were just talking about the auto museum that did the groundbreaking for that on Tuesday, right? Yesterday, Monday.
Monday.
Monday. That's right. We did our show and then we went to this. It was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
We had, goodness, how many news agencies were there?
Um,
Like
I don't
5,000?
know. There was like 5 or 6 different cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what stations they came from.
yeah. So kudos to Christy Eaton, who got everybody and their brother. I mean, KOMG was there, Tulsa World was
Hmm.
there. Channel 9, I guess, was there.
Hmm.
So awesome. Um, so that was a lot of fun. That expansion is underway now, and they're hoping to open that up in November. You guys be sure to go check that out when that happens, and we'll keep you in the loop when that opens up. Yesterday, I did an interview with Tiffany Thompson on Rascals of Route 66. Super excited about that. That's coming down in July. I've got the story for that coming out today. But if you want to watch the full interview, that's available on our YouTube channel now. So you can go check that out or just wait for the story. It'll be coming out later. And then I want to remind everybody about the Creek County Free Dump Day that's happening on May the 9th. So this is, again, a couple of weeks down the line. I'm telling you now so you can prepare for it. But as far as the email and stuff that I've got coming out, it's got a whole list of stuff that is happening starting today, tomorrow, and into over the weekend. So get subscribed to that if you're not already. I'll go ahead and bring that back up real quick for you. Sapulpatime.com/subscribe. Get signed up now. It's free. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's like the best thing that you can do. Never say, I wish I had known this was going on. I never want to hear that. It's annoying. I hate hearing that. I hear it so much.
Okay, really quick.
Yeah.
The the meadow gold sign is on that picture, but that astronaut does not represent Buck Adams. He represents the 60-foot tall astronaut in Weatherford.
Okay, I haven't been there.
Hmm.
That makes sense then. Is it the
And
same guy that built it though?
I don't know.
The same guy who built all of those.
But the same guy that built all of those is putting a 66 superhero man flying like this in Chandler.
Really?
We got to see him yesterday.
You got to see the guy, you got to see the hero
The little hero guy. Yeah.
in all his glory. Like, was it a miniature version? A picture?
No, it was like a big, it was probably taller than your light. So
Okay, but it wasn't 60.
you could stand next to it and he was almost as tall as me. But it wasn't 60 feet tall, but
It
um,
is 60 feet tall.
it will be.
60 feet tall. 60. That is huge.
I know.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
Holy cow.
Mhm.
That's going to be the biggest thing in Chandler. Chandler doesn't have like any two-story buildings, I don't think.
I don't know, but they're gonna have a little superhero guy.
Yeah.
And
Holy
they
cow.
are building like a park. So the park that they're putting it at is an old baseball field, and so it'll have that look, but there's going to be like an amphitheater and all those things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. This will be awesome.
Mhm.
Well, you get me excited about going to see other towns. I'm all about promoting Sapulpa and stuff,
You
but
know, I
okay.
came home yesterday and then again this morning. I was like, man, I'm really tired, and I truly didn't feel like I did like a whole lot. I mean, I did have to be down at the city. I had to leave town by like 6:45, so it was really early. But then I remembered like every person that came to our table, there was a lot of them that had never heard of us. They're like, or they would be like, I've seen that name. And I'm like, were you on the turnpike?
These are Oklahoma people?
There were some Oklahoma people there, but they live in the city. So they've heard of us, but they've never been here. And then there were some people, like I met someone from the Bahamas yesterday.
What?
I met someone from the Bahamas yesterday,
Really?
and he was like, I've never been there. So it was really cool. And
What
then,
are you doing here?
you know what the question they would ask me? Why should I visit Sapulpa?
Yeah. And did you tell them?
I did, but have you ever had to answer that?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
I'm just like, come see us. And they're like, but why?
I can rattle off like immediately five things I'm
Well, yes, it was very easy.
yeah.
I'm like, this. Look at our Christmas shoot. Look at our TB drive-in. Look at our downtown. Look at our car show. It
Yes.
was great. But
But what?
I had to sell our town and it just was so much fun. And
Okay.
I was
I
excited.
was thought you were telling me it was going to be difficult.
No, no. I'm saying like you just get so like excited and like amped up.
I get excited and I get disappointed when I hear about people who have heard of us but never been here. Like
Yeah.
you've heard of the Christmas shoot, right? You've never been to the like I'm getting disdainful of these people who have never been to this
Like,
town.
oh my gosh, my sister said I should go to that. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, you
Yes, you should
should.
go. You should come check out TP Drive-In. You should come check out Boger's Happy Burger.
Yeah.
You should come check out our downtown.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of money on this stuff, folks. Come look.
Mhm.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. They would never want me to promote the stuff because I'd just be mad at everybody all the time if
It
they
was
hadn't
fun.
already been here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. You had a good time?
That's great.
Good. Okay. I'm glad you did. Still mad that we didn't make the poster though. I'm going to write a rude letter about that. So, anyway, that is it as far as today's show. So, today I'm sitting down, no, tomorrow, I'm sitting down with Lily McCauley from the library to talk about the poetry showcase that is happening this weekend at the Sapulpa Library. That will be in the events newsletter and in the story, so you guys be looking for that. And then we'll do kind of a last minute push on that. Be sure to go and check out that other story on Rascaldon 66 because that looks awesome.
It's gonna be so fun.
I spent several, probably an hour yesterday watching Red Bull's Derby soapbox car because that's how she said that was the best
Yeah.
like comparison. Watching all the crashes, it was so great.
Mhm.
It was great. There were a legit 100 crashes and nobody got injured. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just one right after another. So it was great. I mean, I'm not worried about that for your kids or anything because it's not going to be an obstacle course for them. But that's going to be a great, huge event. And maybe we'll end up on the poster next time if we have that. So we'll see. Not going to live this down. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Time Loop Live. I will see you guys again on Free Coffee Friday. Have a great hump day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.